Hey Homewright family, hope you all having a fantastic day. I just wanted to give you a little intro before we do this video. I know this is a garden update of September and yet it's October, but September has gotten away from me. But I did want to go ahead and post this video so that I have that out there. Hi guys, it's Lori from Homewright. It is September 7th and I have not walked you through the garden in a while. So I'm going to give you a little tour. That is Keith in the background mowing the yard, so you're going to hear the lawnmower going while I'm giving the tour. Let me get behind the camera and you can see how things are going. So Keith moved all of the fruit trees to this front area here. They're still looking really good. The only one that actually has fruit right now is the kumquats. We're waiting for those to turn orange, but we have some limes, a couple of kumquats. Those are Myers lemons back there, a couple more lime trees, and then he's got a few more over here. That guy not looking so good, but he is slowly coming back. Of course, the blueberries, not much going on right here. We haven't shown you guys the blackberries in a while. I'll have to go in and show you how well the blackberries did over the season. Keith really trimmed them down a lot right now, trying to kind of clean it up for the season. This is probably the funniest part of our garden here. So at the very beginning of the season, we only had the two blackberry plants growing, and Keith planted two tiny little blackberries here, and obviously they've been growing all season. They look fantastic, but it has been a battle with the birds and the squirrels and being able to harvest the blackberries. So Keith had to create kind of a little house trying to keep the squirrels out from down below and the birds out from eating up top. But I will say these raspberries have been these blackberries have been amazing. Look at them all. They are just, the whole plant has been like this. Do you see how full it is down here? And this is a thornless blackberry. Here you can see that right there is ripe, ready to pick. Let me see if I can get to that one. Look at that. And they are so delicious. Oh, juicy and delicious. Absolutely. So good. We are still getting some of these butternuts. See, I got one down here. We've been cutting them off, and I still have a couple of new ones still coming through. So we're still keeping the butternuts right now because I have a couple of little ones still there, but it does look like the spaghetti squash here is done. So we're gonna actually pull all that spaghetti squash out. For most of these beds right here, there's not much really going on still. I still have a couple of peppers in here. We did pop in a cucumber down here, and there's a little bit of Swiss chard in a few spots. But for the most part, I think we're gonna start transitioning these beds and kind of clean them out. Strawberries look incredibly lush and green, but there's no more strawberries. My eggplant, we've been picking some eggplants. And the banana peppers. We've been pretty good with the eggplants. There's some flowers on here. You know, there's an eggplant back down in there. They're just really kind of coming to life now. Have not been able to pick a lot of the eggplants yet. Some, but been okay with it. Banana peppers, these have been great. We've been doing a lot of pickling with the banana peppers. Jalapenos, this is kind of a mixed bed of a whole bunch of different peppers in here. I have jalapenos, I have ghost peppers, I have hot peppers. I think there's even a Marconi in the back over here. But it's just a bed of a bunch of leftovers. This is my tomato bed that we started as our second set. These are actually looking really good compared to any of the tomatoes that we've had all year. So we just raised up the shade cloth, so they could grow just a little bit more. But I really like the shade cloth for the tomatoes. It really seems to be working for us. We're getting better tomatoes growing than you'll see with the tomatoes over in that part of the bed, or of the garden. In a few spots we've kind of tossed in a few like beans back here. That bean part is done. I have a new batch of beans growing in right there. We've just kind of been trying to throw a couple things into some open spots. Pepper bed. The front of it, I have some cinnamon basil. That's still looking good. I don't know what it is with my marconis, but my marconis really don't turn red. They're supposed to be this beautiful red color, but so far I have not been able to get any of the marconis to really turn red. I'm getting close, but not the vibrant red I was looking for. We're on year 3 and I still haven't been able to get a vibrant red Marconi. Mixed bed of mostly big Jims. Not sure I will grow these again. They're okay, but can't say that these are my favorite peppers. But I will at least use up the seeds that I have. In this bed back here, these are lunchbox peppers. Again, they're okay. I'll use up the seeds that I have, but I don't know if I will actually do them again. I don't know if I'll order seeds again. What I do like about these that I was hoping, I'm actually just starting to get some color on my peppers, which that was the whole reason why I was getting the lunchbox peppers, because they're supposed to be all different color peppers. Right now I've got some orange, but that's about it. I have a couple of, I think these are California Wonder peppers. These are fine. I've been able to pick these. Green peppers, no problem. I can grow them. Can't seem to get any other colors of the peppers. This hot mess of the cucumber bed looks like it's dying out, but I just picked another 4 or 5 great, big, huge cucumbers. So this is still producing. I'm still getting cucumbers. And I still have a lot of nice green growth here, so we'll probably just clean this all up, see if we continue to get more cucumbers. You'll see a couple of these beds that we've been covering and protecting. This used to be cucumbers, some celeriac. We just pulled out whatever's left in the bed and kind of cleaned them up. We will transition these beds to some winter beds. Look, right now we're just storing things. I'll probably put some brassicas. I might fill in carrots here. Eventually I'll pull this bed out. I threw in, again, some more beans. Beans have been doing pretty good. See, I got some good growth down here. I got some flowers. So we've been doing a lot of succession planting with the beans. Probably do parsnip in that bed. Over here I have more eggplants in here. Like I said, I got some flowers, but not a lot of eggplant. But I did just have my in-laws come over and pick some plants, some vegetables. I have a lot of hot peppers, and those are cayenne peppers and hot peppers in these beds. Hoping I'll get a lot of eggplant, but we'll have to see. But this whole tomato section, I'm really not happy with this at all this year. Oh, my asparagus is looking real good. I can't wait for that next year. Let me back up to say, you see all these droopy shade cloths? We're experimenting with a whole bunch of stuff, trying to see if we can salvage what's left of these tomatoes. I don't think I'm going to do this next year. Keith and I are really thinking what we're going to do in these beds, but we're totally rethinking this area here. I don't think we're going to put tomatoes here next year. I'm not happy at all with the way the tomatoes were this year. It's a whole lot of bed with very little production in it. So we're getting real close to pulling out whatever is left of the tomatoes here. They're really leggy. I got some tomatoes that are still on. This is a lemon boy. Some have survived, but we're getting towards the end, so I think we're going to pull these. In an earlier video, you saw the when we planted the collards, and over here is the dinosaur kale. I do have one. He's not doing too good. It looks like he's been eaten by a whole bunch of bugs, so we'll have to get some of the spray out there. They're better, but I am still getting a little bit of pest damage. As you can see down here, still getting the holes on these, but just coming out trying to find, I think it's the army worm still, but we'll have to go out and start picking at them again. But we have been able to harvest a lot of that, so I'm real happy with those, even with the heat that's still going on here. Here you go. Here's your army worm. Yeah. He is just annihilating. Find them, pulling them off, and getting rid of them. But they're all over in our garden. Okay, let's go on to the squashes. These squashes are pretty amazing. They go around. Keith covered it with more dirt. They curl up, going up. Now it's going back down. They're just kind of crazy all over the place, but they still seem to keep growing. We're still getting squashes. So we have been so lucky with these this year. I just pulled a huge one off of this plant this morning, but I'm still getting them. We did lose a couple of them, but so far they're doing okay. These are the new bed of the squashes down in here. Haven't been able to really pull too many, but there's some in here. Let's see if I can zoom in. You can see they are starting to bloom. So I'm starting to get some babies in there. So hopefully I've timed it right, and we'll get some yellow squashes there and some patty pans over in this section here. Look, can you see in the back there? I got some pumpkins. A couple of little apple pie pumpkins. Can't wait for those. Another one over here. Look at that. They're looking ready to pick. Yeah, I can't wait for those. Let me go back over into this section here. Okay, coming down to this area here. This is where we still have a whole bunch of jalapenos and hot peppers in the back here and on the side over here. It's been great. The amount of jalapenos we've been able to pick is fantastic. These plants are just covered in jalapenos, and the more we pick, the more they grow. So really been happy with all these jalapenos. Here's a couple more of the citrus trees. I have to remember what these are. This is our navel orange. This one is Valencia orange. And this one would be a Valencia orange. So I have two Valencia orange on the outside and a navel orange in the middle. Let's see. Let's go into our peanuts. All these across here are peanuts. I cannot wait to harvest these and see how we did with our peanuts here. Even this one, nice little peanut. This one, I cannot wait to see what happens with these guys. These three right here are called Jerusalem artichokes or sunchokes. Supposedly, we're supposed to get a flower at the top of them. Kind of looks like a little tiny sunflower, but I haven't seen that yet. But I'm real excited about these guys to see what happens with them. The grapes, I probably haven't put a video out, but I do want to do a video to show you guys what we've pulled for the grapes. We've been able to make some grape juice, grape jam, and then a couple of different experiments with the grape jam, like grape and blackberry jam, grape and jalapeno jam, just playing around and experimenting, but really liking it. So if I sneak back in here behind the grapes, even though these aren't looking really good, we threw in some cucumbers back here. I think they're just not getting the amount of sun that we were kind of hoping. Just planted some extras on the back. fence here and just let it grow. It doesn't really get watered like the other watering. It just kind of grows on its own. Look, you can still see more pumpkins. Look at them. I'm so excited about the pumpkins. Looks like I'm gonna have about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I can see that have turned orange. I might have a couple more little babies out there. All right, I'm sneaking down behind the grapevine just to sneak over here. We have lots of tomatoes that are on the fences here. So I have a lot of like just cherry tomatoes, trying to maximize some of these fences. This one was a volunteer, and the color of it is so different. Really delicious. No idea what tomato it is though. And if I get up here and look over, I have some peppers that Keith threw down in this bed. You can actually see the corn is growing huge, and I have a couple of baby corn starting over there. I have a couple of new zucchini plants down here. One of them died. He just fell over and broke. But hopefully I can still get a couple of zucchinis there. And then you can see just the immense amount of the pumpkins growing like crazy. Let me see if I can zoom in. But there are some little babies still growing. If you see that guy right there, some little baby. So I might get a few more, even though it's not looking great. Some of it's starting to die back, but that could be I just need to get some water out there. It has been incredibly hot. So there's always something going on in the garden. Let me go down to those raspberry bushes where these are the same bushes, the same plants that Keith had just done some propagation. And what he has just worked on was trying to create a trellis for all these raspberries here. So basically what he did was put 2 posts across so that as the raspberries grow up, you have the lower inside string, and then on the top here is a higher, wider string. Right now, temporarily, we're using string. Eventually, we will trade this out for some metal wiring. But for right now, it just gives a nice little trellis to keep the raspberries organized. So now I have a question for you all. In the beds where we have the tomatoes, we're looking for ideas for next year. So if you have any great ideas on what we can put in those beds, leave them below in the comments, and we'll consider those in doing our garden plan for next year. Thanks for watching, guys.